Namo Buddhaya. Welcome back to another video. Today, let's talk about how to have a better sleep and a healthy sleep. Now, sleep is something that we all struggled and we all have struggled in all of our lives, right? And there are many people in this world who struggle with sleeping. They go to bed and they don't find sleep. Sometimes they wake up in the middle of the night for no reason. Okay, sometimes when they wake up in the morning, they feel miserable and tired even more. Okay, so there are a lot of problems with sleep. So in this video, I am going to share with you 3 tips that we monks practice in order to have a better sleep, right? This is in our daily routine. So without any further ado, let's dive into the video. Tip number 1. The first thing that you have to do is to wind down for your bed. Okay, that means sleep is something that we have to approach gradually and peacefully. It's like you're getting ready for an occasion, right? Now, for an occasion, maybe an interview or a meeting, what do? You get ready, right? You get your clothes done, you get your documents done, and you get ready for it. Same like that, sleep is an important occasion in our day. So what we have to do, we have to get ready for it. Okay, so how can we get ready? So here are a few things that you can practice to wind down for your bed. The first thing that you have to do is to have a light meal for your dinner. Now for the monks, this is not a problem because we don't have our dinner. We only have 2 meals per day, right? Some monks have 1 meal per day. Normally we have 2 meals per day, that is breakfast and lunch. We don't have the dinner, okay? So have a light meal for your dinner and eat at least 4 to 3 hours before the bed, before your sleep time. Now when you do this, your digestion is over and it is finished and it is at rest. Now you can go to the bed peacefully and drink enough water before you go to bed, okay? And also, this is something that many people do, right? Do not bring your mobile phone or laptop or any device that you're using to the bed, right? There are many people who use, right? There are thousands of people who use their mobile phone on their bed before sleep, okay? Sometimes you scroll and scroll and scroll, and so finally you find that it is 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the night, in the morning. Don't do that. So what do you have to do? Avoid as much as possible this screen time, blue light screen and everything, avoid them, okay? Because these screens and these lights stimulates our brain, okay? If you can be relaxed and listen to a meditation music or a calming music, then that's better, okay? So you have to wind down before sleep. And another thing that you can do is to have a shower, right? If it is a cold shower, then it is much better. Or if you cannot have a cold shower, then have a lukewarm water shower, okay? Cleaning your body will help you to wind down and make your body feel relaxed, okay? Then even your mind feel peaceful, okay? So this is how we wind down for our bed. Tip number 2 is to practice the gratitude, right? Now we monks, when we go to the bed, right, we just sit on the bed and we close our eyes and think the people, and we recall all the people who have helped in our life, right? They may be your parents, they may be your relatives, your husband, your wife, your children, or there are certain things that we feel grateful for. So what do you have to do? Be grateful for them, right? Simply say thank you for all of them, right? Remember and recall all the people who have helped you in your way, in your life journey, and be thankful for them in your mind. That is something that we can do, because gratitude is a powerful emotion. If you generate it, you feel the happiness within your mind, and it will help you to have a peaceful sleep. So tip number 2 is to practice gratitude. And finally, as tip number 3, what you have to do is to recall a good deed that you have done earlier. This is something that I personally do before every day, before I'm going to bed. I recall all the good deeds that I have done during the day, good things that I have done during the day, and also I recall the good things that I have done in the past. Okay, so it is always good to keep one good deed or few good deeds in your mind that you have done in the past to make you feel happy. When you recall them, you can feel happy about them. I personally have two good deeds in my life. Among every other good deed, these two good deeds help me a lot to feel much more happy. They may be not big things, but you feel so much happy when you think that you have done it. Okay? It can be a little act of kindness, right? It can be giving some little food to an animal or a person that makes you feel happy. Before every time you go to bed, what you have to do is to recall all the good deeds, good things that you have done in the past. Now, when you do this, you will feel a very positive self-esteem in your mind, right? You feel that your life is worthy and you have done good deeds, right? You're a good person, because there are many people, they go to bed regretting about their life. Okay, remember, no matter how hard or tough your life becomes, there is always positive things in your life. There are always good things that you have done in your life. The only thing that we have to do is to recall them, right? The more we remember the good things that we have done, the more we become happy. That is one result of doing good things. So these are the few things that we can do to practice to have a better and a healthy sleep. So as a summary, what you have to do is, first thing, wind down, relax your mind before you go to bed. Number 2, practice gratitude. And finally, number 3, recall the good things that you have done in your day and in your life. If you do these things and if you practice these things, I can assure that you will have a peaceful and a healthy and a better sleep. So practice these things and have a peaceful night. Namo Buddhaya. Still, I can remember this incident. When I was little, when I was at school, one of my teachers came to our noisy classroom and she asked from us, "Do you know why you have given 2 ears and 1 mouth?" Then she said, "The reason why we have given 2 ears and 1 mouth is to talk less and to listen more." Ladies and gentlemen, when we deal with people in our relationship life, in your family life, in your workspace, if you have this quality of active listening, that can help you in many ways. This quality can help you in many ways. Okay? Now, so many people come to our temple and they talk with the monks with their problems and about their family problems, the problems in the workspace. And there's one thing that they all say, and that is, they say, "They are not listening to me. They are not willing to pay attention to me. They cannot understand me." That is one thing that they say. So if you have the art of active listening, if you practice the art of active listening, you will be liked by many people, right? People always like to talk with someone who is paying more attention to them, right? If you consider about the Buddha, Buddha was a great listener. At one time, one man comes up to the Buddha and he starts insulting him, right? He starts blaming him. All through that incident, the only thing that Buddha did was he listened to that person, right? He paid a good attention to that person. And in another time, one lady comes with her son died on her hand, and she was wailing and she was lamenting in front of the Buddha. And the only thing that he did was, the Buddha did was, he paid attention to that lady's suffering, right? He listened to that lady's suffering. So if you can practice this art of active listening, if you can listen more and talk less, people will start to like you. Remember that. For an example, if you come up to me, right? If you wanted to talk about a problem that you are having in your life, and from the beginning of the conversation, if I started to give you instructions and give you the advice and my opinions about that problem, what would you feel? You will start to think like, this monk cannot understand me. He's not willing to pay attention to me. He's not willing to listen to me. So practice this art of active listening. So how can we practice the listening? Well, the Buddha said that all the words that we speak from our mouth is pre-processed in our mind. That means we think first all these words and then we put it into our mouth and we speak. So if we can be mindful about what we think, what is going on in our mind, then it is very easy to control what you speak. And then it is very easy to know when to speak and when not to speak. So this practice is called, being mindful about the thoughts is called Chittanupassana in Buddhism, right? For that, the only thing that we have to do is like just sit in a quiet place and just watch our thoughts, what comes to our mind. We don't want to react with that thought. We don't want to chase behind that thought. Just identify the thought as just a thought. That is one practice that you can practice to be a good listener. And also, there's another way to practice this listening ability is to engage in conversations and try to listen more to that person. So in the next conversation that you're having, try this out. Go to someone, and if they wanted to talk with you, just from the beginning of the conversation, tell it to yourself that I'm going to listen to this person more. I'm going to pay attention to this person more. That is one way of paying and showing your love and affection to the person that is in front of you, right? That is why lending a good ear and listening to someone and sharing their suffering or problems with them is one way of showing your compassion and love towards them. Okay, so in the next conversation, when you go through that, just listen more to them. Let them put out what is in their mind. And when they go silent, and then you have to ask some more questions. Tell me, how did you do that, right? How it happened, right? Tell me more about the details that happened. Then they will be more interested in talking with you, and they will start to like you and love you. When you practice this, then you will get used to this active listening, okay? And also remember, do not listen to someone just to reply to them or just to give your opinion to them. Always listen to people to understand about their situation, to understand who the person behind these words, and to understand the intention behind these words. When you do that, then you will become an active and a good listener, and then you will be liked by many people. So that is all about the active listening. Be mindful about your thoughts and listen more than you talk. Keep that in your mind. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the concept of karma according to Buddha's teachings. Now, when you hear the word karma, the first question that comes to your mind is, what is karma? What is the meaning of this word? Well, if you take a look at the definition of karma, it gives the meaning of action, right? But in Buddhism, it is more than action. The Buddha said it is intentional action is the karma. In Nibbedika Sutta, Buddha explains this as Chetanahang bhikkhave kammang vadami, chetayitva kammang karoti, kayena vachaya manasa. Monks, I say that intention is the action, or intention is the karma. And intentionally or willingly, one performs actions or karma either physically, mentally, or verbally. That means that intention chetana, or the intention, plays a greater role behind our karma. Now, according to the intentions, the karma can be divided into two types. Buddha said there are kusala karma and akusala karma, wholesome actions and unwholesome actions, right? Now, what is wholesome action? They are the actions, they are the things that we do with wholesome intentions, right? Like we do certain things with wholesome intentions like love and kindness, compassion, patience, serenity, right? When we do certain things from our body, speech, and our mind with wholesome actions, wholesome intentions, we generate karmas that are wholesome. And also there's the other side of the karma, that is unwholesome actions. Okay? Now, akusala karma or unwholesome actions is a broader topic, because so many people think that akusala karma is something that is bad when it comes to unwholesome actions, right? Akusala karma is not only bad, but also there's another hidden meaning behind this. And that is, there are certain things, there are certain actions that we perform during our day-to-day life, right? They're the things that we do in day-to-day life, like talking and writing and like sleeping and traveling. We need actions and we need intentions to do this. Intentionally, we do all the actions, but they're not certainly unwholesome. So the meaning of akusala karma means the actions that do not fall under the wholesome actions or kusala karma. Of course, there is the unwholesome actions or the bad karma or the evil karmas that we do, and also there is other neutral karmas that we perform during our day-to-day life. So they are called the unwholesome actions, right? So based on the intention, the karma can be divided into two different parts, and they are wholesome actions and unwholesome actions, kusala karma and akusala karma. Okay? And the word karma does not come alone. It comes with this word vipaka or phala, right? Vipaka, the word vipaka gives the meaning of result or outcome, and the word phala gives the meaning of the fruit. Okay, now the word phala is a great word to understand about the law of karma. Let's understand about it in this way. Let's say I planted a mango seed on the ground. In few years' time, what do I get? I can have mangoes, right? And also, if I planted a chili seed, in few months' time, what can I get? I can get chili, right? So when we plant something, a seed, it has the potential to give the result in the future, right? If I planted a mango seed, that mango seed has the potential, it has the ability to generate mango fruits in the future. Okay, same like that. If I did a certain karma in this moment, right? If with an intention, if I perform an action in this moment, it has the potential to create a series of experiences in the future, whether it is good or bad, right? So remember, the vipaka is the effect that we are going to get in the future, right? Now, this whole idea behind this law of karma is the law of cause and effect. When we make the conditions for something, then we are going to get the results out of it in the future. Now, the nature of the results highly dependent on the nature of the karma that we perform today. Let's understand about this in this way. Now, I planted the mango seed, right? That mango seed had the power to generate mangoes in the future, right? But if I wish this mango seed to give chilies in the future, no matter how hard I wish, I will never get chili out of it. I get mangoes because it has the nature of generating mangoes. Same like that, right? If I did an action with an intention, it has the power to generate the experiences or the vipakas in the future. So if the nature of this karma that I'm performing today has the intention of wholesome, or if I did with a pure mind, a pure intention, it can generate desirable experiences in the future, desirable results in the future, because that is the nature of this seed of karma. In the same way, if I did something unwholesome with an unwholesome intention, I will get unwholesome or undesirable experiences in the future, because it has the nature of generating undesirable experiences in the future. So this is the whole idea behind the law of karma. Now, why do we need to understand about the law of karma and how karma works? Now, if you had a good understanding about the law of karma and how karma works, it is very easy to be compassionate on others, and it is very easy to be compassionate on yourself. Right? There are certain things and certain experiences that happens due to our past karmas, right? Now, according to Buddhism, we believe that we are coming from a long journey of rebirth that is called samsara. Now, in this long samsara, we have performed both good and bad karmas. So in this life, we are going to get some sort of experiences from our past karmas, okay? So if you take a look at that, when the tough times comes, when the problems comes to your mind, sometimes people blame to themselves. People hate themselves and think like, I'm a bad person, right? I'm a bad person. I'm a negative person. No, right? Just because you performed a bad karma doesn't say that you're a bad person, okay? Because each and everyone, we are living in this society, in this world, perform good and bad karma, okay? So we don't want to hate ourselves. We can be compassionate on ourselves, right? Everyone is subjected to this law of karma. And also, if you have a good understanding about the law of karma, it is very easy to be mindful and be in this present moment. Why? Because sometimes we worry about the things that has happened in the past, right? We worry about the things that we have done in the past, and we think like, oh, I did this thing and my whole life is ruined, right? Of course, you cannot change the past, right? That is the truth. You cannot change the past. And also, you cannot stop the outcomes of the things that you have done in the past, or the results or the vipakas that you have done in the past. Okay, you cannot change it. What is within your control and what you can change is this present moment. And if you become mindful about this present moment, then you can create good karma, not the bad ones. So I hope you got a little understanding about the karma and how it works. So until next video, stay happy and stay safe. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. Today, let's talk about how can we practice Buddhism. Should you become a Buddhist, or should you convert to a Buddhist to practice Buddhism? This is what we are going to talk about today. Well, first of all, you have to know and you have to realize what Buddhism is. Buddhism doesn't have much of a religious aspects. It is more of, Buddhism should be understood as a practice or a way of life. Okay, so in that sense, everyone can practice Buddhism. It is open to everyone. There is no one to force to practice Buddhism, or there is no one to force you to believe certain things. So it's quite of a free practice, and you have the independence and you have this freedom to practice Buddhism and practice whatever you feels okay, right? If you like to practice meditations, then it's okay, right? You can practice meditations. If you want to practice generosity, this is one of the basic Buddhist practice. If you want to practice generosity, you can practice that. Okay. And also, if you want to practice the precepts or living the life in a disciplined way, practice the morals, then you can do it. So it is free and it has this freedom to practice. So you don't want to convert to a Buddhist. You don't want to become a Buddhist. In fact, in the Buddhist time, there was no person called Buddhists. Okay, there were no people called Buddhists. Only there was people. There was people, and also there were people who practiced the Buddha's teachings or Buddha's path. Okay, so this is what you have to understand. You don't want to become a Buddhist. There is no process of conversion. You can practice, and it is free to everyone. It is open to everyone. Buddha's Dhamma, this is the Buddha's teachings. Dhamma has this quality called ehipassiko. Buddha says that come and see, right? Come, learn about this, and realize and see this. See the reality of the life. This is what Buddha says. So it is open to everyone. Anyone can practice Buddhism. So there is no exceptions to practice Buddhism. Anyone can do this. So this is what I have to share today. So practice the Buddha's teachings and live a peaceful and a wise life. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome and welcome back to another video. Today, I want to discuss with you about how can we become peaceful and how can we become calm from our mind. Now we know that we are living in a world where we are constantly bombarded and constantly overloaded with information, with distractions and all of the chaos. So what happens when we live in such an environment is we become so reactive and we tend to lose our peacefulness. We tend to lose our calmness in our mind. And then what happens is our frustration, stress, and depression builds in. So how can we deal with this? And what can we do to eliminate these distractions and this constant chatter in our mind and have a peaceful mind in the middle of chaos? So today, I'm going to share a few tips where you can practice in your daily life. And then you can, if you practice this, it will be a great help to find peacefulness and calm in the middle of all the chaos. So the first thing that you have to understand is calmness and peacefulness is not an outer source. It doesn't come from outer world, right? It can be found within. So no matter where you live, no matter what the place you live, no matter what you do, if you really focus on this calmness, and if you're clever enough to find that, then you will be able to find the calmness and peacefulness in the middle of all the chaos. So always remember, calmness and peacefulness should be built and should be developed within, okay? And also, you have to remember one thing, that calmness and peacefulness is not about emptying your mind, right? When you become calm and peaceful, it doesn't say that there's nothing in your mind, no thoughts in your mind, right? Thoughts may appear in your mind, right? There will be lots of thoughts and train of thoughts will be appear in your mind. But when you become really calm and when you become serene from your mind, you tend to not to react to all those stimulations. That is what the real calmness and peacefulness means, okay? Normally, when the thoughts appear, right, when all these kind of trains of thoughts appear in our mind, what happens to us is we oftenly react to them, right? We become panicked and we tend to react to them. So the reason why this happens is because we think the thoughts as us. And we tend to think that I am what I think and I am my thoughts. But in reality, thoughts are not you. You are not your thoughts, right? Thoughts are just like they're coming and going. It's like clouds, right? There's the sky and there's the clouds, right? So what is the nature of a cloud? It comes and it swarms around and it goes off, right? Sometimes the sky is cloudy, sometimes the sky is moody, sometimes the clouds are scattered here and there, and sometimes the sky is empty. So you are like the sky, and your thoughts are like the clouds. Okay, so there's a huge distance between the sky and the clouds. But we often think that the clouds as the sky. Sometimes when it is raining, sometimes when it is moody, we blame to the sky, right? We tend to say that, oh, this weather is not okay. The sky is always raining, and it's moody. But sky is not raining. Clouds are what forms the rain, right? Clouds forms the rain. So same as that, when the thoughts appear in your mind, you can take a little step back and think, should I react to this? Should I react upon these thoughts? For an example, if an angry thought came to your mind, what should you do? Just pause a little bit and think, should I react to this? You can have a little bit of a time and think about it. Oh, this is anger. I should not react to this. This is jealousy. I should not react to this. Okay, it's okay to have thoughts in your mind, but if you want to be peaceful, you should not, and you should choose to not to react to those thoughts. So there are a few practices where we can do in our daily life to to make a little bit of a help to this peacefulness and calmness. One thing that you can do is that you can slow down your body movement for a little time period of the day. Maybe like when you have time and when you're working by yourself, maybe like you're walking, maybe like you're writing something, or maybe like you're studying. Try to maintain slow body movements. Now, why I say this? Because our body and our mind is highly interconnected. Okay? When our thoughts become panicked, our body become panicked. So in the other way, if we calm down and if we slow down our bodily movements, it will be a great help for us to slow down the thought process. Then you can take a little time and think about what comes to your mind. That is one thing that you can do. And also there's another great practice that Buddha told us to do, that is called breathing meditation. When you do the breathing meditation, you reduce these heavy loads of thoughts into two thoughts, in breath and out breath. In breathing meditation, all what we are doing is we are constantly becoming aware of in breath and out breath. When you do that, it's sort of like condensing your mind. It's sort of like making your mind soft and peaceful and non-reactive. That is what you can do. And also there's another thing that you can do is to not to judge your thoughts and to be aware of your thoughts. I will give you an example. It's like you're watching a traffic pass by the side of the road, right? You can see cars and bikes and vans and buses are going, but you're not going to judge them. You're not going to stop them. You're not going to chase behind them. You sit by the road and you just watch them. Let the vehicles be the vehicles and you be you. In the same way, let the thoughts be the thoughts and you be you. When you become less reactive to your thoughts, you can find that peacefulness and calmness in your mind. So I hope you got some light about the calmness and peacefulness from this video. So I hope may all of you be well and happy, and may all of you be calm and peaceful forever. Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Inner Guide Q&A program. Now in today's video, we are going to learn how to correct a mistake that has done by a person without hurting their feelings. First of all, we all have to know that we all are humans and we make mistakes. We all make mistakes, right? You, I, we all are the people who are making mistakes. For sometimes, when we are dealing with people, when we live with people around us, we will see that the people around us are making mistakes. They do wrong things. Sometimes they may be the people who love you most. So in such times, we have to correct them. We have to show the correct path and we have to put them into the correct way. But when we do that, we do it in an unsuccessful way. Most of the time, we use anger, resentment, we use punishments to correct people. Remember, when you use anger, when you use the punishments, when you use the resentment to show the correct path to people, they will never correct their mistakes, right? Because when someone's mind is in anger, right, he cannot understand what is good and what is bad, what should be done and what should not be done. So there is a way, and there is a proper way to correct a mistake of a person. So have to do that. Now this way was taught by our great Arahant Sariputta. Our great Arahant Sariputta says that you need to establish 5 things inside your mind before reproving someone or before correcting a mistake that has done by a person. So what are these 5 things? Number 1, remember, you need to speak at the proper time. That means you need to show the mistake of that person at the proper time. So what is the proper time to show a mistake to a person? Remember, never show a mistake to a person when that person is in anger. Because when your mind is in anger, you cannot know what is good and what is bad and what should not be done and what should be done. Therefore, you need to wait until that person cools down, right? Don't show the mistakes to people when they are in anger. They will never correct their mistakes, right? That is the first step. And the second step, never show mistakes to people in public, right? When that person is surrounded by some other people, never talk about their mistakes. Why? Because in these days, people have a bigger personality, right? People show a big image to the society, right? You have a Facebook account, you have an Instagram account, you are on social media, and you show something to this society, and you think that you are a person and you are like a kind of a person in this society. So when you show a mistake of that person in front of others, right? When you complain to that person in front of people, remember, you are not only damaging his mind, you're damaging his personality. Remember, damaging to one's personality is one of the most dangerous and most worst thing that a human can undergo. Therefore, never show the mistakes to people in front of others. If you want to show a mistake to a person, talk to them privately, right? Bring him under a shade or maybe a calm and quiet place and talk to them, right? They will like to hear that, right? So never show the mistakes to people in front of others. So that is the proper time. And the second thing, Arahant Sariputta said, you need to speak truthfully, right? That means you need to complain to the person that has done the mistake exactly, not to other people. Because sometimes, because of the misunderstandings, because of miscommunications, we complain to the people who have not done any mistake, right? We make false accusations. When someone is going through a false accusation, it is very hard for that person. Remember. Therefore, before complaining to someone, before showing a mistake to a person, find that exactly has this person done this mistake or not. Okay, so you need to be truthful. You need to find whether this person has done this mistake or not. Do not make false accusations. That is the second one. Number 3, Arahant Sariputta said, you need to speak gentle words. Never use harsh and rude words to explain the things to people, to explain the mistakes to people, right? When you use the hard and rude words, like the words of anger, right, they will shut their ears, they will shut their eyes. They don't like to hear the rude words. In case no one likes to hear rude words, right? Therefore, if you need to explain a mistake that has done by someone else, then speak kind and gentle words, right? Speak heartwarming words. Then they will start to hear that, because we have a higher sensitivity to love and kindness. Therefore, use the words of love and kindness to explain the mistakes to people. Then they will correct their mistakes. And number 4, Arahant Sariputta said, you need to speak in a beneficial way. Remember that. That means when you are speaking and when you are explaining that mistake to that person, you need to give that feeling that this person, the reason why this person is explaining this mistake to me is because he loves me, right? He wishes the development of me. That is why he's showing this mistake to me. You need to give that feeling to that person. So how to give that? So there's a way to show a mistake to a person. There's a way to complain about a mistake to a person. It's like this. First of all, you need to talk to that person privately. And first of all, in the first step, what you have to do is you need to give a value to that person. Let's say, for an example, one of your co-workers made a mistake. Now you have to show that mistake. So first of all, you need to give a value to his profession. You need to give a value to what he's doing in a company, right? First of all, you need to say, you are doing a great job in this company. You have a great value. You give a great value to this company, right? When you're praising that person, he will open their eyes and ears. And then in the second step, you need to show the mistake, but you have done this mistake, right? You're doing this mistake. Because of doing this mistake, because you are doing this mistake, there is a huge disadvantage for the company as well as for you. You have to explain like that. Then after that, after explaining the mistake to them, as the third step, again, you need to give a value to his profession. Or you need to give a value to his life, right? You are doing a great job, so do not do this mistake again. You need to correct this. If you explain the mistake in that way, remember, everyone who you need to show the mistakes will correct their mistakes, right? And in the final thing, right? The final thing, Arahant Sariputta said, you need to speak with a heart of loving kindness, right? Not while harboring the hatred thoughts. Because so many people show the mistakes to other people, right? To maybe to your children, maybe to your husband or wife or colleagues or co-workers, whoever it is. You get the anger to your mind and then you start to speak, right? Never do that. You need to be kind to the people. You need to have the compassion inside you. With that, you can do a great job, right? You can heal others' hearts. And also, you can correct the mistakes of people successfully. So, you need to use your word wisely and properly, because your words can change the lives of people. Words are so powerful, it can make people, and also in the same way, it can break people. Therefore, when you show the mistakes to people, you need to speak kindly, gently, and in the proper time with a mind of love and kindness. So try this out and see the difference of your life. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Buddhist meditation series. Now, in today's video, we're going to be discussing about a special quality that we all need to practice and develop as a meditator. Now, this quality is one of the most fundamental qualities that a meditator should possess. And that quality is the patience. Supreme Buddha said, Kanti paramang tapotitikha. Patience is the highest virtue. Now, the nature of our mind is, the nature of undisciplined mind is, it is impatient, right? It needs everything instantly. Isn't that true? Now, we all get used to this instantness. We are living in a world that everything comes to our hand instantly. For an example, you have your mobile phone on your hand, on your palm. If you need to look up for something, you just type it and instantly it will pop up, right? So many things like technology, they are becoming instant day by day, right? And also we have there are so many things which comes instantly. We have instant noodles, we have instant rice, you have instant articles. So we have got used to this instant world. The more we get used to this instantness, we are losing our patience. We are losing our ability to just wait. Now, for an example, if you take your mobile phone and if you log on to the internet, if the connection is bad, if the connection is low, what is your response? You become panicked. You become impatient. You become frustrated. Why? Because you have get used to that. You have trapped in that illusion. So that is the problem in our mind. So when you get used to this instant world, you need everything in life to be instant. That is the problem. But in life, in the spiritual world, in the spiritual life, and most of the life things inside this is slow. We have to be patient. We have to stay until it happens. For an example, can you force yourself to sleep? You cannot do that, right? You go to bed, but you cannot force yourself to sleep. You should wait until you fall asleep. All right? For another example, when you're doing meditation, you cannot force your mind to be relaxed. When you force your mind, it will become more distracted. So, one of the most important and valuable, so crucial quality that we should possess as meditators is the patience, right? So you need to learn the art of just being without any expectations, without being panicked, without expecting quick results. Just put yourself in the way, in the progress, in the process, right? Now, a lot of us sit for the meditation expecting on the first day, my mind will be so peaceful, so serene, and so tranquilized. It will not happen instantly. It is a life process, right? So it is very slow. It is meandering. So you have to just wait, right? So I need to share a special thing that you should do before doing any kind of meditation, right? So most of the time you sit for the meditation and you close your eyes. Sometimes you sit cross-legged, sometimes you sit on a chair, and some people may do walking meditation. Whatever the meditation is, first of all, if you are closing your eyes, right, or if you are opening your eyes, it doesn't matter. Just let yourself to be in that posture or in that way for a little time, right? Don't just directly jump to the meditation. Just sit, close your eyes, and just wait and observe what is happening inside, right? Don't rush your mind. Because if we force our mind, sometimes our mind is not ready to do meditation, right? When we use our mind, when it is not ready to do the meditation, when you use that mind to do the meditation, when we force that, it will not work properly. So best thing to do is when you sit down to the meditation, just close your eyes and just be for a while. Just be relaxed, right? Just let all the tiredness, fatigue, and exhaustedness to just flow away. Take a deep breath and exhale out and just be, right? First of all, you need to have that quality. So that is one part of patience, right? Not being panicked, not being so fast. You need to slow down, right? When you're doing meditation. First of all, let yourself to be relaxed. Now, when you first in the beginning, when you become relaxed, your mind is getting ready and it is knowing that now this person is going to meditate. It's like warm-up exercise, right? When you hit the gym, first of all, you don't go just and do the cardios, right? You just warm up and you just give the idea and give the news to your body that now this body is going to work out. Same goes with the meditation. First of all, sit, relax. Just don't do the meditation directly. You can do that when you become pro at meditation, but as a beginner, we all need to practice this, to be patient, to stay. You need to learn the art of being, right? Not art of going. That is why we are called human beings, right? If you are a human being, then you should know how to be, right? So practice to be patient. Practice to be relaxed before doing meditation. If you practice this, you will gain good results through the meditations. Namo Buddhaya, Theruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Buddhist meditation series. Now in today's video, we're going to be discussing about our mind. Now as meditators, we all are dealing with this mind that is inside our life, right? So we need to learn the nature and we need to learn how it works before dealing with it. Because you cannot control and you cannot be aware of something that you don't have any idea about, right? So you need to learn how this mind works inside, right? So our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, taught us what is the nature of this mind. Buddha said, Yena lahu parivattang yathaidang chittang. There's nothing in this world that changes so rapidly than the mind. The mind is the fastest thing in this world. It can travel so fastly. It can jump from one thought to another in split seconds. Right? It is the fastest thing on earth, in the world. So we are dealing with such a fast thing, such a rapid, such an active thing. So that is why we need to observe it. Now, you all have heard of monkey mind. What is the nature of the monkey mind? Monkey is easily distracted. Monkey is easily panicked. It runs here and there. It jumps from one branch to another. It's screaming, and it hardly stays in one place. So that is the nature of the monkey mind. So we have to deal with this monkey mind. Now, in meditations, we have to, little by little, we have to take control over our mind. That is one of the main aims of doing meditation. Not to let your mind to wander here and there, and just teaching it and practicing it to stay in one place. So it same goes with catching and practicing a monkey to stay in one place. Right? You cannot go to the forest and catch a monkey and sit on it, keep it on a table and force him to sit on it, to be focused, to stay still. If you do that, your monkey will be distracted more and more. You cannot catch a monkey and put that monkey inside a cage and lock it to stay still. If you do that, the monkey will be more and more distracted. It will scream inside the cage. So, how to deal with this monkey mind? Well, one of the most important way and one of the most successful way to deal with monkey mind is to be friendly with it. Right? You need to be friendly with your mind. You don't want to force your mind and you don't want to torture your mind to do meditation. If you're forcing your mind to do meditation, then it is not a meditation, because the first part of the meditation is relaxation. How you can gain the relaxation by mere forcing, by torturing. First of all, be friendly with your mind. So how to be friendly with your mind? Now, when you close your eyes, right, and when you start doing any kind of meditation, maybe breathing meditation, you are now breathing, right? When you're doing breathing meditation, you are breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your nose, and you stay aware. But after some time, the monkey mind appears. And it will be distracted. It will run out of the focus and it will start to think some other thoughts. You don't want to be angry with your mind. Don't be angry. Don't be frustrated. Be kind to that mind, because it is the nature, right? So when you become kind to your mind, you bring back your wandered mind, distracted mind, to the focus again with a friendly hand. Right? You don't drag the mind angrily. You just go there, you just be kind to your mind and ask your mind, now it's okay. It's okay that you're thinking of other things, but let's go and think about the meditation again. Let's go and do the meditation. Then it will come back to the meditation, and then also it will stay for a little time. Right? It will stay for another maybe 2 seconds, 5 seconds. And again, what will happen? The monkey appears. Right? So when it become distracted, you bring back again to the focus. Right? If you're keeping on doing this again and again, that monkey or this monkey mind will get used to stay at one place. But it takes a long, long time. That is why meditation is not an instant process. It's a slow process, right? Every good achievement in this world, remember this, every good and successful achievement in this world takes time. It takes patience. It takes continuity. It takes hard work. So when your mind becomes distracted, what you have to do, don't be angry with your mind. Don't blame your mind. Don't be frustrated with yourself. Bring back your wandered mind again to the focus point of the meditation and continue the meditation. When it goes again to the other things, bring it back. Again, it will go for the distraction. Just bring it back. Be friendly always, because your mind is yours, right? You're loving yourself. You love yourself more than anyone in this world. That is why you're doing meditations, right? That is why because of love, because of self-love, you're doing meditations. So you don't want to lose your self-love when you are doing meditations. You have to be kind, love your mind, and ask your mind to come back and do the meditation again. Then your meditations will be more successful and more peaceful than ever. So that is the special thing that I have to share with you today. So I wish you all, may all of you have, and may all of you experience a peaceful and mindful meditations in your life. Namo Buddhaya, Teruvan Saranai.